A leg of mutton sleeve is a kind of sleeve that is wider at the upper part and fitted at the wrist. This sleeve is also known as arm sleeve or gigot sleeve in French, and the sleeve cap can either be pleated or gathered. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be showing you how to draft a one-piece leg of mutton sleeve pattern. The method I'm about to show you has proven to be the easiest and the fastest. Remember to subscribe to my channel for regular updates if you haven't, and also do good by keep watching ads on my videos as usual. Thank you, and I will see you in class. A leg of mutton sleeve can be achieved in two ways. The first way is by having your pattern in two places. That is, you will have the puffy side of the sleeve separately and the fitted part of the sleeve separately. And after cutting out your fabrics, you will join the two together. And the second type of the sleeve is by having your leg of mutton sleeve as a single piece, which I will be showing you in today's video. In one of my previous videos, I've made a well-detailed tutorial on how to make a leg of mutton sleeve in two pieces. The upper part separately, the fitted part separately. Then I joined the two together. If you are yet to see that video, kindly check it out after now. The link to the video is in the description area below. Okay, so in making a one-piece leg of mutton sleeve, the first step is to get your basic sleeve pattern ready, which I have mine drafted, as you can see. So this part is the front and this part is the back. In this case, there will be no joining on the sleeve at all. So we have the sleeve as a single piece. So now that I have my basic sleeve pattern ready, as you can see, from this top, which is my starting point, to this first line is my cap height. So I have the bicep height, the elbow height, and the wrist measurement. A leg of mutton sleeve is commonly seen as a long sleeve, though in some cases you can see it as a 3/4, but that is not common. So the measurement I have on the wrist is together with my dart allowance. The wrist measurement is 9 inches and I'm supposed to have 4.5 inches on both sides, but I added extra 2 inches, which make this 6.5 inches. 6.5 inches here and 6.5 inches here. And on this pattern, I do not have any seam allowance added yet. So the first step is to plot the darts. In plotting the darts, so as you can see, this is my sleeve opening, which I have here, and I will have to flip my pattern over like so. So the wrist is facing towards my side. So this line is the center of my sleeve. This is the back and this is the front. Then on this part, which is the front side, I will get the midpoint. Here. Then from the midpoint, I will distribute my dart intake. If your dart intake is 1 inch, then that will be half of an inch on both sides. In my own case, my dart intake is 2 inches, so that will be 1 inch here and 1 inch here. I made use of 2 inches for my dart intake because I want the upper part to be very puffy. If you don't want it too wide, definitely you will need to reduce your dart intake. And I will plot the darts on the other side as well. So after marking out my dart intake, the next step is to extend the center of the dart upward. Now, this has to do with where you want the puffy to start. The puffy of your sleeve can either start on the cap height, below the cap height, on the bicep height, below the bicep height, or on the elbow height. It all depends on you, and there's no rule that guides this. It all depends on your preference. So in my own case, I would love my puff to stop on the bicep height. So definitely I will be extending my dart line to get to the bicep height, and I'll make sure I have a perfect straight line upward. Okay, so I have the center of the dart drafted. Then I will connect both sides of the dart to the same point. So here you can see what I have for the dart, and let's assume I want the puffy to stop on the elbow height. So all I have to do is to make a straight line and stop on the elbow height point. Okay, then I will connect both sides of the dart on the same point. So with this method, you can create any style for your leg of mutton sleeve. So the creativity is endless. It all depends on you. Then I will repeat the same process on the other side. Also, if you don't want to have much of fullness on the upper part of your sleeve, you can stick to one dart instead of having it on both sides. If you want just a very small puff at the upper part, you can make your dart intake 1 inch and let it be on the back side. If you are plotting your dart on one side, then you make it be on the back side. Now that I have my dart plotted on both sides of my sleeve, then I will proceed in cutting out the darts. So guys, now I have the dart cut out. So after cutting out the dart, the next step is to close the dart. So the dart I have on the sleeve opening will be transferred to the sleeve height. So that is the head of the sleeve. In doing this, I will open the bicep height, and when it is about to get to the dart point, I will stop. So which I've cut here, I've cut the back side. So I will just close this dart completely like so, and I'll tape it. So I'll cut this side as well, and I'll close the dart. So after closing the dart, then I will open up the center. So which means this dart is going to the sleeve head. Guys, now I have my darts permanently closed, as you can see. So this is the front side and this is the back side. So the next step is to open up this part. So you can see my dart is opened on both sides of my sleeve. So this is one, this is the other one, and I have a straight line here, and on the center of the sleeve I have a straight line as well. So I will cut this all through, and I will cut the center line all through as well, and I will stop on the bicep height. Okay, so after cutting, then I have it, as you can see. So now I have this in pieces, and I have this separately as well. So this is the back and this is the front. So this will give me the grace to spread my pattern as much as I want. I have that opening by the side, so the first thing I will be doing is to close the side dart. So that is the dart I transferred to the side. So I will make sure the dart point here aligned, and this part as well. So I will just close the tip. I will hold it with my tape. Then on the front side I will repeat the same process. So now I have the edges of my pattern taped, as you can see, and I have the upper part like so. So the next step is to spread this on a fresh pattern paper, and I have my pattern paper laid on my table, as you can see. So I will draw out my starting points at the edges, then I will spread this as much as I want. So I have my pattern spread, as you can see. This is the amount of fullness I want at the upper part of my pattern. If you don't want yours to be as much as this, all you need to do is this: you have control over your pattern. So I will just move it closer. So I still have the grace of moving this closer to the dart point, so which is the point I open the dart, this part. So I can still close it like so, and I will repeat the same process on this side. And as you can see, automatically the opening I have on the upper part has reduced. Can you see what I have here? So the kind of fullness I will have with this is different from the previous one, but as for me, I want this to open. If you want it more than what I just did, all you need to do is just to adjust your piece of pattern just the way I'm doing. You can see what I'm doing. So we just tilt it upward, then you close the side and fix all the broken points on your pattern. So I will return this back to the way I did it earlier. So now I have my pattern back to the way I spread it earlier, and I drew out the center of my sleeve on the fresh pattern paper, and I also drew out the sleeve head. So that is where the head of my pattern started, so which is here. Okay, so the next step is to just trace out my pattern on the fresh pattern paper. Firstly, all the broken point I have on my pattern has to be fixed, and I will start with the wrist. So as you can see on the dark point here, there's a broken point, and on the other side there's a broken point, and here is the center. So I will be reconnecting from the center of the sleeve to the side of the sleeve pattern. Then on the other side, from the center to the side as well. So this is normal. Anytime we apply the slash and spread method, there's always a broken point to refix. Then I will transfer the side of my sleeve. So this has to be on a perfect straight line, just the way I'm doing mine. So with this, I'll fix the broken points, and I will repeat the same process on the other side. You can see what I have. So connection from the wrist to the sleeve head has to be on a straight line. Then if I want my sleeve to be higher at the center, I will just take this upward by 1.5 or 2 inches from here. This also depends on how much you want the center to be high. So here I'm taking this up by 1.5 inches. Then with my curve ruler, I will connect like so. Okay, then I will connect from the 1.5 inches point as well to the back side of my sleeve. Then I will transfer the remaining shape I have on the sleeve head. So now I can separate my pattern from the fresh pattern paper. So after separating, then I'll add my seam allowances around my leg of mutton sleeve pattern. So guys, I will trace out my lines clearly. I will extend the center of the sleeve downwards to the sleeve opening. Then I'll add my seam allowances around the pattern. 1/2 inch on the sleeve head, 1 inch by the side, and 1 inch on the sleeve opening. Then I will indicate the front and the back side of my leg of mutton sleeve. So guys, here is the final look of our one-piece leg of mutton sleeve pattern. So here is the front side, this is the back, and I have my seam allowances added around the pattern, as you can see. If you want yours wider, don't forget what I told you, just spread the upper part of your pattern more. So the more you spread, the more fullness you have on the sleeve head. So thank you guys for watching this video to the end. Make sure you try yours and share your experience with me at the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't, so that you won't miss any of my subsequent videos. Thank you once again, and I will see you in my next video. Till then, always do remember, There is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs.